Sure. So I own a couple of businesses. Trimley, which is a high-end shoe care business, and Thomas George Collection, which is a high-end men's shoe business. The shoe care business we've been doing for about 2.5, 3 years now. It grew with out of my shed, and it's just grown into a pretty big operation now, which we're kind of quite proud of. So we sell into the US, we sell into some places in Europe, but our main market is Australia. Because obviously, we know this market well. We use Amazon a lot for overseas, but we tend to find that you take on Amazon, you take on a lot of problems as well. So we're quite happy doing what we're doing in Australia for the time being. We've also launched this beginning of this year, Thomas George Collection, which is a high-end men's shoe business. That's been kind of slowly growing, but obviously with COVID, that's put a bit of a damper in the works. We have noticed just in the last week, actually, with Melbourne out of lockdown, the sales have increased. We're in an industry where I guess shoes aren't really required when you're in lockdown, so. You know what? It's pretty easy, to be honest. So yeah, listen, it's been great. Jeden is fantastic. I really, really like Jeden as a worker. So I'm really, really happy with him as an employee. I hope he stays with us for a long time. Obviously, with the business the way it is, I'd like to get him more involved. I'd like to, when we grow, to kind of move him up the chain and get him developed more as an employee, especially within kind of other aspects of the business. And I think he's really keen. He's interested in what we do, and he's just someone I couldn't have hoped for a better customer service representative than Jeden. So very pleased with the candidate. In terms of dealing with the remote staff, listen, I'll be honest with you, I don't do much of it, which, it's fine. You know what I mean? Like, I guess you only hear from people when there's problems. There's no problems, and especially now with today's climate, you know what I mean? Things are just ticking along. And, I value Jeden, and I want to make sure that he's looked after. So, we're making sure that he's okay. As I say, when things pick up, I want to see him develop. And maybe we can talk about his development and what goals he has. I've already spoken to him about his goals, but I guess maybe doing it in a coordinated fashion with you would probably be a lot more strategic in how we approach his growth. Yeah, listen, in terms of customer feedback, it's always great. Jeden gets my philosophy on customer service, and he embraces it. Obviously there was a few things to iron out when he joined on to Thomas George Collection. There was a few things he had to learn, and there was a few mistakes made. But I come from the school where you're not going to learn unless you make mistakes. And as long as you don't make the same mistake 3 or 4 times, and Jen's really good with criticism. I always try to be positive about it, and he just takes it on the chin. And I say, I'm the kind of person where I say what I need to say, and then it's forgotten. I don't hold grudges. I don't brood on things. I don't hold anything back. I always say to Jed, and I would never say anything behind your back to any other person in my business. If I have a problem, I'll let you know straight away, and we'll deal with it there and then. And Jed appreciates that, so he knows if I have something, I wouldn't say critical, say if I have an issue, we just get it over and done with there and then. And 99.9% of the time, it's never spoken of or heard of again because it's never committed again. So. Sure, absolutely. If I knew someone who was looking for someone, I definitely would recommend you. And that's based on my experience with Jeden. Obviously, I don't know if you have more Jedens out there, but if you do, firstly, let me know, and secondly, I'll recommend,
Yes.
for sure.
Yeah, well,
So obviously 2021 is going to be a critical year for us for our growth plans. Those growth plans were supposed to happen in 2020. Obviously, that's been put on hold. So 2021, I dare say that we'll be in touch
like rising from 2020.
Rising from the ashes of COVID.
Rising from the ashes, perfect description. Yes. Let's aim for that. Let's aim for 2021 to be a good start for everyone else, not only in business.
Absolutely.
Remote staff, empowering remote working relationships.